Okay? So let's maybe do, tell me if this is transitive or intransitive, okay? Maybe that's more complex. I'm going to simplify that sentence. Okay, I was singing very quietly during church. Hopefully you would be able to know that this is a pronoun, so this is our subject. We have was singing. The second verb is always our main verb. So this is my main verb, and I need to decide what kind of verb it is. But this is a helping verb, so this is a verb helping. So now the question is, I was singing. Is that a transitive verb or an intransitive verb? You tell me. Ding, 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 ding. If you knew it was intransitive, good job. But let's see why. Very quietly. Okay? Very quietly is describing how I am singing. So this is an adverb, and this is an adverb. So it cannot be transitive because there's no direct object. In order to be a transitive verb, I need to have an object of what I am doing. And maybe you guys who are super on it saw that this is a prepositional phrase. You really want to get good at identifying these prepositions. They're any of those relationship words. Okay? So let's look at this. So because of that, we know that this is an intransitive verb. I couldn't say, what was I singing? I was singing church. No, that doesn't answer the question. So this is an intransitive verb, but let's practice. Okay, so we have sentence, noun phrase, subject, predicate noun, right there, pronoun. We have verb phrase, predicate. So now we're going to start with a new verb phrase, and we're going to have a helping verb and an intransitive verb. Okay, now I have two adverbs. The question is, does very describe singing or does very describe quietly? It answers how quietly I was singing. I wouldn't say how quietly. I wouldn't say how was I singing? I was singing very. No, very describes quietly. So I actually have adverb, phrase, and I have two adverbs building on top of one another. So I have adverb, adverb. Whenever you have things building on top of one another, you make a new phrase because they're words that are grouped together. Right? Then I know I have a prepositional phrase. And if you are on it, you might tell me that that is an adverb phrase of when. When was I singing? I was singing during church. So I have my preposition, during, right? I have my noun phrase, object of the preposition. I have a noun, and then church. Okay? Now look at this example and see how singing can become a transitive verb and how we might do that. So I'm looking at this, and I want to ask myself, in order to decide whether or not this is a transitive or intransitive verb, what was my sister singing? I can answer it. My sister was singing Amazing Grace. The object of my singing is Amazing Grace. It answers, what was I singing? I was singing Amazing Grace. So this is not an intransitive verb. Singing is now a transitive verb. Okay? This is still a helping verb. Now I know my sister is the noun. My is describing which noun it goes to, right? An adjective. Amazing Grace is a title, and this is a great example because titles are always going to serve as proper nouns. So the whole thing together, everything in quotation marks, or if you have a title of a book or whatever, that's all one noun. Okay? Beautifully ends in an ly, so we can probably guess that that's an adverb. So then how do we diagram that? We always begin with sentence. We're always going to have our noun, phrase, subject. Now in this example, think about this. I have two positions, so I always need to have my noun, right? And that's my sister. But then I also have an adjective describing which sister? My sister. Okay? Now let's go into our verb phrase predicate. I now have two verbs that are stuck together. Whenever words are stuck together as a group, they are a phrase, and thus you need to create a new phrase for them. If it's, the best American movie, which I will provide that example way down here, the best American movie. Movie is one word that has a phrase, but then the next level is it's an American movie, then it's best American movie, and then finally it's the best American movie. And that's why we create new levels of phrases each time we have a new adjective or adverb or whatever. So let's go in and do this. So we're going to create a new verb phrase. We're going to have our verb of helping and our transitive verb was singing, right? Then what happens after a VT? I have to have a direct object. So I have a noun phrase direct object. I know that because that's what always comes after a transitive verb. So I have a noun. The noun is Amazing Grace. That's one noun. It's one song. If I said the song instead of Amazing Grace, that's listed together. Titles are listed together. All right? And then I simply have an adverb. Whoops, excuse me. That beautifully looks a little rough, but maybe you can see that. Okay, that's all the practice I think we need for today. All we added new was our helping verb and our verb phrase, okay? But make sure to go through and do good practice like that.